Hey everybody, this is Mike and Zach with Vexed Gaming. Today we're going to be doing a review on Mass Effect Andromeda. Mike coming with a lot of experience playing all the Mass Effect titles, so he'll be bringing a lot of good points. And me as a first-time player, this is the first Mass Effect game that I've ever played, and I don't have a lot of time playing it, but yeah, I can give a little of my input as well on the inexperienced side. So Mike, if you want to go first.
Yeah, so there's some things that Mass Effect has done really well, and over the years, through the first three games, it wasn't open world, it was very linear, but it was good. They had perfected that art. The problem is, what I've noticed with this game is they've tried to make it something that it's not. That I don't think it should be. They got away from their roots. And although I really enjoy the game, because I've played all the Mass Effects, and I'm more likely to forgive them for errors, such as cutscene mouths and little stuff like that. Unfortunately, I'm sort of disappointed. And I don't know, maybe you as being a newcomer, is there anything that's been disappointing you about playing so far?
The aiming mechanics seem a little clunky, and I haven't driven a car yet, but you said that was a little bit off. It seems like a pretty solid game as far as, like, it's not a ton of glitches, but maybe that's just because I haven't run across them.
Yeah, so there are some glitches, one in which when enemy dropships come in, like the one we just saw, if you attack the enemies while they're dropping in, they'll get stuck in the air.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's really freaking silly. And that's something that should be easily it shouldn't happen.
Right.
In a game that's been in development as long as this game has
Hopefully there's a way down.
Unfortunately, like I said, I'm willing to forgive them because of my dedication to BioWare with Dragon Age and Mass Effect. But unfortunately,
it seems like most games lately, anyway, aren't
it doesn't look like an
completely
outcast
finished
or
when they come
collective
out.
camp.
They
Check it
launch
out.
something and then they almost immediately patch it.
yeah, and that seems to be and like I was telling you back when I was in Mass Effect 3 and whatnot, of you should play these games, they're always good, and I told you, and I had told people that Mass Effect Andromeda would be a complete game when it came out, because that's what BioWare does. They give you complete games. They don't give you, The Division, which is broken. They don't give you other games like Assassin's Creed, which is broken. Ubisoft has set the standard for broken-ass games that they've released. BioWare did not do that, but unfortunately, this game should have stayed in development for another 6 months to a year, in my opinion. It needed it. For all the bugs and the really crappy mouth animations and dialogue, this game should have just stayed in development. I think EA screwed the pooch. I really do. I think that EA was the cause of this game being released when it was. They were putting pressure for BioWare to release their game, and unfortunately, the players are going to just be angry about it. But there is a but. BioWare, as we all know from Mass Effect players who have played all of them, with the ending of Mass Effect 3.
Just pop your tire.
Yeah, I stabbed my tire. With the ending of Mass Effect 3, there was enough complaints that they eventually changed it. Yeah, so that's, a good thing. They listen. So there is hope. I think that bugs will get fixed in the next 6 months. They will get fixed. I just am really sad that they released it in the state that it is in.
Yeah, it sucks that they use the player community as their test rather than testing it.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's really what it feels like to me.
What everybody does now, though.
Oh, wait, here.
They
Let's see if
release
I can.
something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, try to recreate this. No. So, yeah, it doesn't always happen.
Yeah, it just seems like most games that come out now, they're using the player community as their test environment, and then patching it a couple of months after it launches, or even a couple of weeks. when that could all be avoided, ultimately giving a better player base and a better player experience, I think, if they were just take a couple more weeks and get it right.
Yeah, and I think you have a good point there. Is the thing is we're now at this point where this is sort of, and I'm going to say it, and people are going to be pissed, and I hope y'all comment on it. It's our fault as players. Mm-hmm. We're demanding the impossible, and then if something falls short just a little, it gets crucified.
Yep.
Unfortunately, or we're demanding that the game come out so we can play it.
Right.
So the devs are giving...
We can't be patient for it to be right, but then when it's not right, we bitch about it.
The devs are giving us exactly what we're bitching for. And a lot of times it's unfinished games. And that's a problem. But, I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's not rendering.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, that should not be happening.
Right.
The game is laggy at times the more you play. I mean, look, the landscape is unrendered.
Yep.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But also...
We've got targets!
I'm going to just go in here so that everybody can see this. I can't see any... There's nothing in here. I can't see anyone. This is what we're talking about.
Right.
Now, the thing is that there are some good qualities to this game. Personally, I don't like the open world. I don't care for it. I like the way Mass Effect used to be. Because it just isn't done as well as it should be. I think a lot of games are doing this. But the things I do like is that the gameplay. I like the addition of the jump jets and the dashes. I like the abilities.
This area can be
the fact that
you were excited about the melee mechanics and stuff.
Yeah, I like that your melee button is not an afterthought anymore. Like, I'm building this character that I'm playing now to be a biotic samurai is what I'm going to be calling her. Where basically, once I get a good enough melee weapon, I'll be just running around using biotic abilities and chopping everything up. And the combat is really well done. Other than the floating enemies on dropships, I don't really have a lot of problems with the combat. And the abilities are great, but the problem I do have is the fact that on the Xbox One, when you have two other biotic characters like I do, the biotic explosions, it does lag the game if I do too much. And it should. It kills the frame rate, and it becomes this... It's like playing World of Warships on a really bad PC lag. I mean, it's just frustrating. But, some of that's going to be expected. Oh, look. There we go.
Nice.
No reason at all. Just floating in the air. Now he's not. And apparently there was two of them. One time I came across a pile of 10.
Nice. You don't even know what you're getting into.
No. So obviously there are bugs and glitches that will get fixed by the devs. I'm sure of it.
But the point being, it shouldn't be that way.
No, the point being is BioWare. As much as I hate to say this, because I'm definitely a Mass Effect Dragon Age fanboy, I'm pissed at you. You should not have done this to us. We have given you hard-earned cash and our respect, most of us. I accepted the Mass Effect 3 ending for what it was, and I didn't complain. Other people did, and y'all changed it. But I'm very upset that this game is the way it is with these minor errors. But I still play the heck out of it. I mean, I've still played it for like 8 hours, doing every side mission, all the grind, relationships, everything, because that's Mass Effect, and I enjoy it. The problems that are there, I can overlook because other games have the same problems, and I think the players and gamers are just as much to blame as the devs because of the, like you said, the lack of patience.
Yeah. Everybody wants everything to be perfect. They want it right now.
Now,
and they want it to be cheap.
The multiplayer does not feel tacked on. It's not like we'll add multiplayer to get more people to play. It's actually really good. I don't usually play the multiplayer unless I have a full party of people. But like, see there, we're getting lag and just loading lag, which isn't that bad. It's forgivable, in my opinion, because of the the three other great Mass Effect games that they produced, I'm willing to forgive them for things. But the question is, like Zach here is new to the Mass Effect universe. Are you willing to forgive Air Solidus?
No, I won't buy the game until it's right. I'm not going to spend $60 on a broken game that I'm not even sure that I'm going to like.
Right.
So, I may pick it up later if it goes on sale. Once the hype's died down, and try it out. But at this point, I don't think I would buy it.
Yeah, I mean, now if you're console sharing and someone buys it and you get to play it, I mean, that's a great idea. And
right.
if y'all don't know how to console share, it's really simple. Just give it a Google, and it's a great way to get free games where you and your buddy or family member agree to buy a game and take turns, and you both get access to it.
One person buys a game, you both get it, so you can alternate games. Basically, get games at half price that way. So.
Yeah, so Zach here, he says he's gonna wait. I bought it obviously, and I bought the very expensive version because I like to support BioWare. It's one of the few games that I will buy the stupid expensive versions of the digital copies.
Yeah, the big dick
the $100 versions. But as a Mass Effect fanboy, I'm highly disappointed, but I still enjoy the game because there's more good than bad. But
so are you happy that you bought it?
I am.
Okay.
I am happy that I bought it because I am more. I get things out. I ignore things.
Right. You'll let it slide.
I would not suggest paying. Unfortunately, this is paining me to say this. I would not tell people who've never played Mass Effect to start with this game. I would suggest getting Mass Effect 1,
games.
2, and 3, playing through those, and enjoying the greatness.
By the time you get through those, maybe this one will be fixed.
And not even that. By the time you get through them, you won't care because you'll be like, wow, those 3 games were so amazing. I don't care that this is broken.
Okay.
So that's how I feel. So yeah, buy it if you enjoy Mass Effect. If you're new to the Mass Effect universe, I would hold off, console share it, or rent it when it comes out on Redbox or whatever, GameFly, whatever that crap is, and just go from there. So that's what we think about Mass Effect Andromeda, and hope you leave comments and let us know what you think down below. And don't forget to like.